Welcome back to Careful Boys. We're doing part 2 on who we're voting for president. What do you think about, so my biggest thing, I guess, anti-Trump thing, or like Kwan or whatever, whenever he talks about healthcare, how he'd replace Obamacare, he doesn't give any examples. He says, like, I have plans. Like, what do you want to see?
Well, Obamacare didn't really work out as planned, or we were told.
My wife's health insurance 3X.
It was really expensive. Certain hospitals that you used to go to would no longer take your Obamacare. Yeah. It was a huge mess. The problem is, do you remove the entire thing and restart over, or do you make adjustments to try to make the best you can, knowing that the basics of it is not actually that good? So it's actually a huge problem.
Yeah.
I think that's really where he is. It's like we need people that will dedicate their life to figuring this out, because it's a problem that's so large. And for me to just shoot off the hip and you're gonna say, well, you guys didn't do it exactly how you did, it's a problem.
By the way, I worked for Obamacare for a sec. Like, just to show you my progression as politically. I was working at Maker Studios at the time, and they were trying to do like a campaign about Obamacare, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm interested. And then as soon as they enacted it, it was like during the advertising campaign that we were trying to launch, so I was writing for it. And my wife's health insurance got canceled. And then it got 3X. Like I said, the premium's 3X. It was like 2.5X or whatever. But I went back into that fucking room and I was so pissed. And I said, I quit. And I said, this is a complete bunch of bullshit. I cannot believe anybody in this room is proud of this. And I left.
Good for you.
It was.
And then do they look at you and say, straight white male?
Yeah, they probably talk shit as soon as they left, but I was so mad. I was so mad about it. I was like red hot mad. Because I couldn't believe like what a bill of goods it was that was being sold. And then, I'm supposed to sit there in a room and like go, this is why it's good for you. We got John Legend coming up or whatever. Like that's what this one hack writer in that room. He just kept on talking about how amazing it was that we got John Legend who's down to say whatever the fuck we write. I was like, whatever, dude. John Legend sucks. But I didn't think that till later. I got mad later. Yeah. But yeah, now I'm like, John Legend sucks.
There are a ton of policies that we all can focus on and we can all think about. But the reality is we have 2 major problems or 3 major problems in the country that need to be dealt with immediately. One is the economy. Economy is shit, right? It's really hard for a lot of people. I've talked to people that are retired, that are coming out of retirement and picking up part-time jobs because their retirement income cannot cover the increase in inflation. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with the economy, number 1. Number 2 is that no one wants to go to war. This is crazy that we're talking about World War III, that there's wars popping up everywhere. No one wants to be in war. No one wants to send their kids to war.
How do you define World War III though? Because me and Bart were talking about this yesterday. Aren't we kind of in World War III right now? It feels like it. We're in hot wars everywhere. Like we're
the Middle East, Ukraine,
shit like that.
We will know when they label it as such.
Yeah. But so what would you define World War III as?
I think I really question the idea of a World War III that's physical. I actually think the war in the future is all digital and psychological. So we live in a digital world, meaning actually everything in our lives revolves around digital.
Yeah.
The premise that we're going to be in an analog World War III is actually kind of crazy if you think about it.
And it's just nuclear if that happens.
Why is everything digital but war, which we spend the most money on, is analog? So I think that's actually what we're in. We are in a World War III, but it's all propaganda. Digital. It's all digital. It's all for control of our minds and our viewpoints. If you look at it from that perspective, you're like, holy shit, it's actually true. When Palestine goes into Israel, why do you go in on hang gliders? Because you need promotion and you need clips and you need ways to do more propaganda. The whole thing is a propaganda war, and we're just fighting in it.
You lost me on the last part. So they go in on hang gliders like because it looks sick?
Well, if you're online and you're on the internet and you want to tell the world that you are rich and you've made your money because I'm an influencer now, what's the first thing you do?
You buy a car.
You buy a Lamborghini, take a picture, and you post it. Because without it, no one would believe you.
No proof.
How do you prove to the world that you're in war and then you have to spend all the money in war? Well, you get people on hang gliders and be like, oh, the Iron Dome missed it. And then all of a sudden you're in war and now you justify all the spending. And the reality the whole time, it was just propaganda.
Interesting. I don't know if I understand that. That's interesting.
Well, and the third thing that we really need to be focused on and concerned on is just safety within our own neighborhoods. We have crime out of control, and they can whip out whatever crime statistics that they want. The reality is almost everyone at home doesn't feel safe. It doesn't even matter if the crime statistics are true or not, if the murder rate is up or not. People should feel safe at home. And the fact that you don't feel safe means something within society is broken.
I mean, if you don't log in the crimes, then of course the stats are going to be low.
Right. Well, that's been the whole thing.
And we know a lot of people on the front lines, like
Just start
officers,
talking about
that
it.
are just saying this catch and release stuff is crazy.
The DA won't do anything about it. So they just go.
All across many departments, same shit. Even other blue states, like I live in Hawaii too, same shit. And I know officers there too, same shit.
And
They're
it's
like,
the
it's
Soros
catch and
DAs.
release.
It's actually that.
Yeah.
Like that's not a
It's all
conspiracy
Soros-
thing.
it's-
It's all the Soros DAs. Like the ones that he funded, put up, they got elected, and then they don't do anything about it.
Safety is actually a way of life. Being able to feel safe, being able to go outside, letting your kids walk outside, being able to walk around your neighborhood, being able to walk to the store, whatever it is. Safety is actually a way of life. And for them to take that away from you, they're actually changing the way you live your life. We need to get back to the fact that, hey, I want my wife to be able to walk to the store. That should be a thing. It doesn't matter if it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 4 o'clock. There's no reason she should be walking over homeless people. There's no reason she should feel like she has to walk around Mace. That's crazy.
If my bitch is going out at 4 a.m., she's cheating on me, dude.
Catch a hot one.
Tell you that. Yeah.
Doug M off her.
Don't want that.
Or she's coming out of the casino.
What's your so you met Trump before?
Yes.
What's your biggest qualm with him?
His handshakes too firm.
Yeah. Did he pull you in?
I
you do
think
that too?
that I think
Starting a lawnmower?
I think the biggest thing that he cares about right now is that he wants to remove this deep state, especially after the assassination attempts. I think it's easy to get into a mode of retribution, and that's my goal, to remove the deep state, and maybe lose sight of the things that we care about, which is economy, safety, and war. So you focus so much on internal conflict that you maybe lose sight of the things that are most important to us.
Yeah.
But that's kind of important to him, which I get because they try to kill him.
Try to kill him. He's like, I'm gonna fucking.
But you have to be able to let that go just enough where you're focusing on the things that we care about. And I'm worried that he may be too focused on that. But at the same time, like, we still need to fix those problems. And if he were to focus and care about the things we care about, I think he'll do okay. Because I think him going further left shows that he actually listens to the people, right? It shows that he's willing to make
Like compromises.
a little bit of compromises to make sure that he's attracting and talking to the most people, because you want your president to speak for America, not just for the hard right or hard left.
Right.
So him going to the middle and opening up the net to more people in actually is a good thing. I've been to several Trump rallies, and every single rally, he always makes a call out. If you're a Democrat and you're here, I'm glad you're here, there's always room for you here on this side. It's not too late to come over. He always does that. He
Unless
goes out
you're
of his way to-
gay. Stay over there. We don't want you.
But he at least, you could say it's lip service all you want, but he actually actively does that every single rally. You don't hear Kamala rallies. Well, there's no Kamala rallies to begin with. But you don't hear her saying, hey, MAGA Republicans, come over here. She's
Never
said
MAGA
that.
Republicans. She says Republicans, but not MAGA. Yeah.
Which she should.
Yeah, she should. You're right.
She should. She should make the outreach, because you want a president that's a president for all of America, not just people that believe.
Well, that's what outrages me when people talk like Obama the Messiah. The fact that he spied on his
It's crazy.
opponent and nobody ever asked him about it. Ever. Not one interview. He gets interviewed softball all the time. You spied on your opponent's presidential campaign based on a fucking dossier funded by Fusion GPS, which was funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign. Everybody knows this. The FBI knew it the whole time. They were investigating for 2.5 fucking years. And nobody says, Obama, why did you approve that? Based on nothing. Based on a fucking spirit Halloween costume of like a dossier. Like, you're a joke, dude, for that. Like, that is the most actual threat to our democracy I've ever heard about, and nobody ever asked him about it. I asked Tulsi the same thing. She said, "Yeah, if only people like you got to interview him." And exactly, it's all just safeguarded shit. He gets to go talk to Martha Stewart about his favorite recipe.
But you think all that is too much inside baseball? Like, you would look like a crackpot just asking that question in the first
But
place.
it's not anymore. I mean, it's like it's completely out there, right? It's all in the open. But you're right, because the media doesn't talk about it. The mainstream media doesn't talk about it. People like him talk about it, but then he also talks about space lasers, so people say it's all fucking nuts. Am I wrong? That's the problem.
I like space lasers.
But all you said, but like you said, what you said was, I said, I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
And they go, he talked about space lasers. He's also talking about Obama spied on Trump. And that's all you got to do. It's a magic trick.
Alienate him.
And it poisons the well and makes people just look nuts for even associating.
Dude, it sucks when the truth comes out. It's like not relevant anymore, so people don't even care if it's true.
Because it's all narrative based, right?
Yeah. No one cares that COVID started in a lab. It's not a big deal.
No, you're right.
It's over now.
They spent 2 years telling you that is the craziest idea ever.
Gaslight the shit out of everybody.
You are a racist for even considering it, and then it comes out like, oh, they don't even acknowledge it.
I love how it's not racist that Chinese people eat dirty ass bats, and that's how COVID happened. But like, it's racist that Chinese people had it in a lab. That was what? By the way, an American collab lab by Fauci and his crew.
We called it out in real time. Credit to us.
Yeah, but we did it too early, which made us crackpots, which made us come off as, you know, fringe crazy people.
Which means we're crackpots on everything we talk about.
But now it's common knowledge. Now it's out like, yes, it was a fucking lab leak. It's crazy, man. It is fucking nuts.
Isn't it something about like the way to hide your lie is to mock the truth or something like that? So I mean, the irony of saying the truth and it sounding so weird, or the way people spin it off, is the perfect way to like hide it for as long as possible until people forget it. We got to start lying more here, and maybe people will start believing the truth.
It reminds me of the story where there's a dude that was like smoking weed in the airplane lavatory. He like comes out and like makes it such a weird thing about it. Like, what do you mean someone's smoking? Right.
Yeah, you gaslit the flight attendant.
The Chinese ones.
That was a homie, and I took his story to get views.
Hide the lie, mock the truth.
Love it. Obama's biggest scandal was a tan suit.
Trump 2024, make America great again.
Get him. Make America healthy again. I fucking love RFK. See you guys.